This happened to me about a year ago. I still get chills thinking about it. I'm not the kind of person who believes in ghosts or anything like that. But, well, let's just say I don't go to bars alone anymore. It was a Friday night, and I'd had a rough week at work. You know how it is. Deadlines, meetings, the usual grind. I just wanted to unwind. So I decided to hit up this little dive bar on the edge of town. It was one of those places you've probably driven past 100 times, but never noticed. The sign outside was faded, and the windows were so dark you couldn't see inside. But hey, it looked quiet, and that's exactly what I needed. I walked in, and the place was, well, it was exactly what you'd expect. Dim lighting, sticky floors, and the faint smell of stale beer. There were a few regulars scattered around, nursing their drinks, but otherwise, it was pretty empty. I grabbed a seat at the bar and ordered a whiskey. The bartender, an older guy with a beard and a tired look in his eyes, nodded and poured my drink without saying much. That's when I noticed her. She was sitting at the far end of the bar, just glowing. I mean, not literally, but there was something about her that caught my eye. She was wearing this stunning red dress. Sleek, elegant, the kind of thing you'd see in an old Hollywood movie. Her hair was dark, curled perfectly, and she had this, I don't know, this timeless beauty about her. She looked like she'd stepped out of another era. Now, I'm not usually the type to approach strangers, especially women. But there was something about her that just drew me in. Maybe it was the way she sat there, so poised and mysterious. Or maybe it was the fact that she seemed so out of place in that dingy bar. Either way, I couldn't stop staring. I finished my drink and decided to work up the courage to talk to her. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? She could say no, and I'd go back to my whiskey. No big deal. So I walked over, trying to look casual, and said, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" She didn't answer. She didn't even look at me. She just sat there staring straight ahead, like I wasn't even there. I figured, maybe she didn't hear me. So I cleared my throat and tried again. Excuse me? Can I get you something?" Still nothing, not a word, not a glance, just silence. At this point, I was starting to feel a little awkward. I mean, there I was, standing there like an idiot, while she completely ignored me. I glanced around, wondering if anyone else had noticed. But no one seemed to care. The bartender was wiping down glasses, and the regulars were minding their own business. I decided to cut my losses and went back to my seat. Maybe she was just shy, or maybe she was waiting for someone. Either way, I wasn't going to push it. But here's the thing. I couldn't stop watching her. There was something so hypnotic about her. The way she sat there so still, so perfect. It was like she wasn't even real. A little while later, I noticed her get up and walk toward the door. She moved so gracefully, like she was floating. I watched her leave, half expecting her to look back. But she didn't. She just disappeared into the night. I turned to the bartender and said, "Hey, who was that woman in the red dress?" She didn't say a word to me. The bartender froze. Like literally froze. He stopped wiping the glass in his hand and just stared at me. "What woman?" he asked, his voice low and serious. "The one in the red dress," I said, pointing toward the door. She was sitting right over there. The bartender's face went pale. He put down the glass and leaned in close, like he was about to tell me a secret. "Listen, buddy," he said. "There hasn't been a woman in a red dress in this bar for a long time." I laughed. I mean, what else could I do? "Come on," I said. "I just saw her. She was right there." The bartender shook his head. You're not the first person to say that, but I'm telling you, there's no woman in a red dress, not anymore. That's when I started to feel uneasy. The way he said it, like he was warning me about something. I asked him what he meant, and he sighed, like he didn't want to tell me but knew he had to. Years ago, he said, there was a woman who used to come here. She was beautiful, just like you described. Always wore a red dress. She'd sit at the end of the bar, just like you said. And she'd never talk to anyone. People thought she was, I don't know, mysterious, I guess. But then one night, something happened. He paused, like he was trying to figure out how to say it. She was waiting for someone, he continued. A man. They'd been seeing each other in secret, but he was married. That night, his wife found out. She came here to the bar. And, well, let's just say things got ugly. I could feel my heart starting to race. What happened? I asked. The bartender looked me straight in the eye. The wife shot her. He said, right here. In this bar, the woman in the red dress died on the spot. And ever since then, people say they see her, sitting at the end of the bar, just like she used to. But she's not really there. I laughed again, but it was nervous laughter. Come on, I said. You're messing with me, right? The bartender didn't laugh. He just shook his head. I wish I was, he said. But you're not the first person to see her. And you won't be the last. I didn't know what to say. I mean, how do you respond to something like that? I finished my drink, paid my tab, and got out of there as fast as I could. But here's the really creepy part. A few days later, I was going through some old photos online, just killing time, when I came across a picture of the bar. It was from the 1950s, and there, sitting at the end of the bar, was the woman in the red dress. She looked exactly the same as I'd seen her that night. I don't know what to think. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe my mind was playing tricks on me. But I'll tell you this. I haven't been back to that bar since. And if I ever see a woman in a red dress again, I'm running the other way. Sweet dreams.